And welcome back. It's Friday night, and you're here with the Average Boys podcast. It's your boy Crispy, and I am here with my co-host Trigger. Trigger, my dude, what is up?
What's going on, man?
How's it going, man? How's it going? Tell me about your week, man. Tell me about your week.
Pretty good, dude. Fuck, man. Like, no shit. Like I was telling you earlier, man, I was asleep until about a half hour, like 45 minutes ago. And that was like coming straight out of work, and I was out for like a solid 3.5 hours almost. And I was like, fuck.
Good nappy nap, man.
Yeah,
good nappy
man.
Nap.
I was out, and man, it felt good. The work's been pretty good. You know, we've been doing like a lot of research on like what's going on in like nerd fandom this week. And granted, things were a little bit slow, but like this week for like endings of TV shows and movies coming out,
man.
It was solid.
Yeah, it was a solid week of great shows, great television shows and movies and films and everything like that. Want to give a shout out to everybody in the comments. Guys, thank you for tuning in. George, my cousin, I love you. I hope you're doing good. I haven't seen you in so long. Robert, what's up? To anybody else that's out there, thank you guys for tuning in with us. Yeah, it's been an exciting week. There's been a lot of good stuff going on. What do we got? Verdansk finally changed in War Zone, man. I finally had the opportunity to jump on and give it a chance. And you know what? It feels fresh. It feels new. It feels good.
Doesn't feel stagnant anymore.
It is something. It is something that the game has been needing for a while. It's very sweaty though. I mean, there's a lot of diehard players right now and a bunch of metas in the games, but you got to give it up to it. Got to give it up. Hey, my mom's watching. I love you, Mom.
Yeah.
Hi. But yeah, what's up, Jeremy? How's it going? Robert, how's it going, my dudes? Yeah, it's been a freaking.
I did get this for my birthday, and this is actually a somewhat late birthday present from one of my best friends, and he was actually one of my best men at my wedding.
Oh, dude, you got a saber. Fucking hey, dude, check that shit out.
Yeah, fucking lightsaber, dude.
Yo, you know what's really crazy? You know what? As a matter of fact, speaking of the lightsaber, it's been a while that we've had something happen with the Star Wars world in a while.
And you know,
I wonder if something's gonna be popping off soon.
I heard that there was like a new trailer where they went in a little bit more with Andor or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I was kind of hearing about that, and I was like, okay, cool, whatever. I'm not gonna watch Andor. Spoiler, I know how it ends.
Well, as a matter of fact, our boy Pete Martinez from Harlingen Fan Fest is bringing down the character, that one guy from the Mandalorian TV show. Oh, remember, he's bringing the guy the bounty hunter dude. Oh yeah, Bad Batch is coming out in May. That's another one too. The animated film Bad Batch about the clone troopers that are a little augmented by their DNA.
Yeah,
their chromosomes are a little off.
See, that one actually doesn't look bad though. Like,
oh, it looks fun.
Yeah,
it looks hella fun. I'm gonna be excited to watch that. And of course, it's done in the old school Clone Wars animated vibe feelings. I think it's gonna go very, very well with the series. I'm really excited. But let's see, what did I get to do, man? As a matter of fact, I got to go do something the other day with a friend of mine. We got to go and check out Demon Slayer, the Mugen Train in theaters, dude.
How was it?
So, very interesting. You know what? I really, really personally think they need to normalize the idea of having anime in theaters more often. They need to normalize this because it was quite the experience, man. It was quite the experience. I'm of course, we saw it. We got to watch it in IMAX in the Edinburgh Theater, which was it was hella good. I'm not gonna lie, I was very, very impressed.
Speaking of that, I believe my brother-in-law is getting tickets so that me, Audrey, my sister-in-law, and I think the four or five of us, I think my sister-in-law's boyfriend as well, can all watch Mugen Train.
You know what? It was very, very good. Are you familiar with the story of the Mugen Train?
So I am to a point, and I say that because like I'm not like I have not read Demon Slayer through, but I know what happens for the most part with a lot of big arcs.
Oh, and yeah.
I know that the Mugen Train was a really big arc.
Oh, it was. It was a definitely big story, man. Georgia asks, what was our take on the Mortal Kombat release? Actually, for sure, we're going to be hitting up the Mortal Kombat,
Yeah,
but we're probably gonna we're gonna deep dive into that a little bit later.
Yeah, we will be talking about that. I mean, if we're gonna give like a little, like, out
Like a
of
reaction.
10, yeah, like out
It
of
was
10
interesting.
review, it was not bad.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun with it. I thought it was very good. There are gripes that I had, and there are things that I found were lacking. But we will be getting into that probably.
Yeah, we're gonna be getting into it about the third part of the show. So we're gonna
Yeah.
cover just a couple. Actually, we might cover it a little bit after this. So, but the Mugen Train, the graphics were amazing. The soundtrack was awesome. The characters are great. We saw it.
Deliver when it comes to animations. They are top tier. Top tier.
It was the series is from Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer cinematically is amazing at its cinematography and its action sequences and stuff. But I'm not gonna lie, my take on the film was a little bit weird. I have seen the series. I'm pretty caught up on the anime and the manga, but I feel like the story didn't express enough of one of the characters, the main character that they're trying to really portray as the main, I don't know, strength. Yeah, Rengoku. I feel like they didn't really deep dive into his character enough. So there's a scene towards the end that's.
I think they're going to be doing that because they're going to want to flesh him out a lot more in the anime than they are than the manga. Because even in the manga, if I remember correctly, like he's still somewhat unknown, and this is like your first real like
introduction to his character.
Yeah, is in the Mugen Train arc.
Yeah, and it's a very
Mugen Train arc. Like you have, like, what I love to say is the like Shonen Jump trope of giving a backstory during a huge arc. Huge arc.
Yeah. I mean, for what it was worth, it was a very good movie. The character Rengoku was expressed fairly well. I just feel like they didn't really give him enough depth in his character that really got me emotionally connected to him. So there are some things that happened in that film that I feel didn't hit correctly. But yeah, the developing of the character was a little bit off. But
yeah, I mean, as George is saying, they're still developing the character. I think that they're going to be doing a lot more of that in the manga. Sorry, in the anime, because in the manga, dude, they're like tight, dude.
Oh yeah, they're very. But that's you know what? That's the same thing as it is with My Hero Academia. I feel like they're doing it right now. Did you notice that in the recent released manga, they have a scene where All Might shows up and he's like in a badass car and he's wearing like a suit and right? I kind of feel like he's gonna be the character that they talked about in the first movie. That's his friend from America.
Oh, Steven, whatchamacallit?
Yeah, the guy, well, his sidekick in America, right? I feel like he's going to portray that role, and he's going to be getting gear from those people, but he's going to be that role, that supporting character for Deku for like the next coming like episodes.
Oh, so you think he's going to be the man in the chair?
Yeah, I really do. I really do. It was very weird for it to be where he was like in earlier episodes, he was like in his tracksuit, going and exercising, kind of like trying to be like, hey, well, you know what? I'm not going to be useless. And then all of a sudden he shows up and he's like James Bond. He's like he's not in his like principal outfit. He's actually like in a business, like, yo, what's up suit. And he's driving like a super crazy sports car.
Hey man, fucking Horikoshi is not doing bad when it comes to the
not at all
writing. Like that man can do no wrong. Like
but actually he's doing a pretty amazing job in My Hero Academia.
Yeah, that Deku's extra 2 quirks are like unicorn and seal. Narwhal quirks or something. And perfect. That makes full sense.
But you know what? Like, I feel like that's what the Mugen Train is, where the manga, of course, has its story that's well driven. The characters are fleshed out very well in the stories in the manga, but the movies are just kind of like these fillers that kind of like reflect how the manga will go or in some way be. Mm-hmm. And they kind of like mix a lot of the different parts of the manga together into one episodic episode for that, so that they can show in films and stuff like that. Because I mean, for what it was worth, the film was good, but it felt a little rushed and it felt a little dry on the story. But I know what they were trying to do. Like, I guess that's as easy as I could put it. So My opinion in my situation when it came to the Mugen Train was like a solid 8 out of 10. I really give it an 8 out of 10. I thought it was great. I recommend it if anybody has the opportunity and you want to spend a couple extra bucks and you want to get out of the house, you want to go to a theater and watch something pretty fun. Demon Slayer.
Man, speaking of going to the theater, how was going back to the theater for you? Like, did it feel somewhat normal?
Well, I don't know if you remember, dude, but like at the very beginning of the coronavirus, like when everything started like chilling out, I got to go see Akira at theaters.
Yeah.
Remember?
So I saw New Mutants when I got back.
Yeah. Remember? So like, it's not like the first time. Like I felt a lot more laxed about this one.
Things are starting to ramp up now. Like things are starting to open up back to 100%, like that. So that's why I was like, was it packed or like when I went, dude, there was like fucking 50 people in the theater. Period.
Yeah, there was a really really good amount of people in the theaters. Actually, I think we had to get like some of the side seatings because it was pretty much almost sold out. But when we were in the theater, very roomy. The seats were very like, there was a lot of parts that were opened up, and I don't know if people like just missed the performance or
distancing going on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, really really good on the social distancing. George says, my cousin George says he has to ask his wife permission to go first. Well, you got to ask her, man, because that anime is really really worth it. But as a matter of fact, if you don't feel like going to watch an anime, what about going to watch a film? And you know what film we're talking about? Let's get it. We're talking Mortal Kombat. So if I'm not mistaken, Mortal Kombat can be seen at the theaters or at home on HBO Max, right?
Yes.
Which I'm 100% about. I think the future of filming or film and movies where you can have that opportunity to go in or out, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah, dude, it's amazing.
Like, there's a part of me that now that I've seen Mortal Kombat at home, would I spend money to go see it at the theater? I don't know, man. Because would you feel like you would?
Yeah.
There was some parts of the okay. So first, before we get into it, because we're going to talk our reactions, and then of course we're talking spoilers today.
Yeah. So this is going to be a complete spoiler-driven episode, guys. So
Yeah. So everybody, just so you know, we're going to be talking spoilers today about all the things we're talking about.
You know what? So drop my track. Drop the track.
Drop it.
Drop that. Drop that beat.
Mortal Kombat for you, Triggs, rating out of 10, 1 out of 10?
7 out of 10.
7 out of 10?
Solid 7. So
you know what? I'm probably in the same boat. I'm probably going to give it a 7 out of 10. I kind of feel like it was, there were parts that were better than the old Mortal Kombat 100%. Films. Yeah, but there were parts that kind of felt the same. Like, I kind of feel like they didn't get very far past they're still kind of suffering from the curse of not being able to make comic or games to films correctly.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like Tony just said it very, very good. It's not bad.
It's good, but not
it's good, but it's not great. So of course, if you have someone out there that's going completely bonkers saying it's the best thing they've seen, you need to check out what they're smoking or drinking because
I need some of that. Like
hit us up with some of that stuff because
you should have fucking picked this up, dude. Or should endorse this. I'd have been like, you're clearly on drugs.
So Triggs, what are your pros and cons about the Mortal Kombat film?
Pros and cons. So I'm gonna go with cons first. All right,
yeah, go for it.
I'm gonna give everyone their veggies first. Cons. The story was very convoluted. It jumped around a lot. I thought the overall motivation for Cole's character was very backburnered and did not give me the desired effect of severity until like the last act. And what I mean by last act, I mean like the last half hour of the film. You kind of see it a little bit where he goes back and he's trying to get his family out and stuff like that, and then Goro shows up and then he just straight bodies Goro. I thought that like I did call, and I'm gonna list this as a con and as a pro. I did call from the very beginning that Cole was
a descendant.
Yeah, was a descendant of of Scorpion. 100% called it.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, no, I think he's going to be a spin on Johnny Cage.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are thinking. Even me, dude.
Even though the
Even me.
director was like, no, Johnny Cage will appear. He's just not in this film.
Okay.
I think that a lot of original characters were not there, and I thought that was kind of shitty. But this is just me being like a slight Mortal Kombat like critic, and I really shouldn't because I haven't even played all of them. I would also have to say that some things I felt were very predictable. Very predictable. Now, if I'm going to go for pros, the characters that they did release to take on the roles to fill in those not original characters, I thought were good ones. I thought that they were very, very, very appropriate to kind of just highlight the diversity of the character list that, the 200 plus character list that Mortal Kombat has established in its 10 plus games. Now, the obviously, I mean, I'm not going to say that they're going to do a trilogy or a saga or anything like that. Who the fuck knows? I hope they do. That would be very cool. But onto my pros some more. This is a very fun movie. This is a super duper fun movie. I would take my little brother to see this without my mom knowing, sort of shit. It's kind of one of those like films that like you don't think is going to be super duper gory and then is. I thought there was a good highlight on the gore. I thought there was a good highlight on the action scenes. I thought the martial arts was beautiful. Beautiful. They have some super duper solid actors in martial arts positions. And man, they are just, dude, killing it with the martial arts. This doesn't feel so forced like it did in the first in the first Mortal Kombat movies, and this is this is just a fun movie, and it's cool to watch, but I don't think that this is like one of those that like I'm gonna be like I need to watch Mortal Kombat right now.
Mm-hmm. So we got some good comments. Tony says pros, Kano. Excellent call. Excellent.
Hilarious, dude. Kano was like top tier. Hilarious in this movie.
And George came in and said logic is to leave it open-ended for the next run. They'll give you the main course before the dessert, talking about jumping into the sequels, about what they're giving in this film and stuff like that. And then he also says they will. Ultimately, it's a business and it's all about the money. Yeah. Exactly. But you know what? Like, okay, so my pros and cons. I'm gonna go with my cons first, of course. Yeah, I feel like the story is. So for me, I kind of feel like the lore of Mortal Kombat already is pretty well established, and they didn't really need to kind of confuse it by making a whole new character that could have been already someone that was part of the franchise already there, right? Mm-hmm. So like the character Cole, like he's kind of like a throwaway character. Like, and I want to say that they made him so that he's relatable, but I don't feel relatable.
I don't think that they were making him relatable whatsoever.
Well, they're trying to make it to feel relatable to the audience, like the person, because you can't really connect to like, okay, Jax or Sonya.
How you could feel at all relatable to Cole Young?
Well, I mean, okay, so how can we not? He's an MMA fighter, kind of like kind of a failed MMA fighter. He has his family, his wife and kid. They're kind of rocky because he doesn't know how to find himself. Where Kano is the Black Dragon of a syndicate of pirates, and then Sonya is like a 20-time Secret Service agent, and Jax is a 6'5", 280-pound built black dude that was in the special forces. And then there's a dinosaur, and then Liu Kang, who lives in the mountains or walks around the desert without a GPS and finds people, and Kung Lao with a razor head. Like, there's no one relatable except for the beginning part with Cole, where like he's just like, dude, I cannot be a part of this. Is fucking crazy, dude. You know what I mean? Like that whole thing.
They did that for relatability. What?
Well, I mean, audience-wise, that's always good when you come to the story.
Just like a show of this dude sucks.
Well, yeah. Well, I mean, because that's what I'm saying. Like, they needed to have someone that you didn't need to know the history of. But then again, it's like you said, like he is a descendant of Scorpion, right? Which has never really been explained in the story of Mortal Kombat at all, because Scorpion himself is an immortal demon that, you know, constantly comes back. As long as there's a Sub-Zero, he's coming back to kick that dude's ass. You know what I mean? Like, that's just what is. As long as there's a Lin Kuei, like, he's there to romp some shit. But they introduced this character, Cole, and the actor himself brings this character to life very well. He himself is a good actor. And in fact, what's really, really cool is not even on the same subject. He was one of the guys that was also in line to play Shang-Chi, which got released as a trailer this past week also. He was one of the guys that was in line to play him.
I would have rather had Liu Tan.
You know what? Yeah, that was okay. So that's the thing. You had this Cole character, right? And he's like I said, he's a little weird relatable because he's kind of like the world now. But like when what's his face? Jax meets up with him, like out of nowhere, they just feel each other. Like, how does he know that he had the birthmark? Did he see it in a picture, or is that how they're kind of like going with it?
Well, remember they were saying that like they had been tracking him for a while.
But the thing is like how? Like what even led them to track him? Is it because they found out who his father was?
Maybe, who knows?
Maybe like because
it may have just been a descendant thing that they were like, oh, this guy had it.
Because I was gonna say, like, when they found his father dies and his bloodline dies through him, and then Raiden takes the baby and they never be heard of again. So there would be like a really weird trail if that was the case, unless they found out about all those people living in the mountains. Because there were some parts that were very fishy about that Cole character. Like, do you feel like later on he might be the new Scorpion?
Oh, George, you obviously don't know Chris Jaded.
Oh yeah, dude. What did he play? But they're correcting the voids in the movies first, and then the sequences of the films. Well, we hope that's what they're doing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, you obviously don't know Chris.
So he's my cousin. He knows me, but
yeah,
I'm very
everything.
Yeah, I'm very, very cynical when it comes to this stuff. The lead up to the Mortal Kombat movie was hyped. It was hyped.
Well, it's because they did great marketing. Great marketing. And you know what? I give them that, dude. They had amazing marketing. They did not give you too much of the movie. Thank God they did not give you too much of the movie. This was definitely not like a Kong versus Godzilla.
No. This is you know what? This is just a summer cool film. This is one of those films, like you said, like it's like a boys' film. Like you could take your guys to go see this film, or anybody really. The reason why I say guys is just because it's just a beat 'em up. It's a cool beat 'em up. But like the things, like there was a lot of things that just happened just to happen. There was a lot of like Mary Sue moments, right? Which is like Sonya getting the mark from Kano. You knew she was eventually going to get it because they have to fight each other, right? Yeah. I think the other one was like when Liu Kang finds him in the desert. Like, how did Liu Kang just happen to walk across him? And what the fuck was Liu Kang just walking in the desert for in the first place? But then again, it's kind of ventured that he's the one that has to go around and search for these people in the first place. How did they know about, you know, what's his face? Fucking Jax being, how did they even get Jax to that place? How did they get the animatronics on his hands to move? Like,
I think they actually kind of go into that just a smidge, dude.
Yeah, they just say that let them do their magic or whatever.
No, they're traveling to other realms,
and that's what they're doing, right? So they're bringing in technology from other realms to do stuff.
Yeah,
I was kind of a little bit taken by the idea of them getting like these weird special powers from their Quay or whatever they wanted to call it,
Arcana or whatever.
Yeah, because it's like Kano's, right? He gets the cool laser eye from his shit. And then later on, when he's fighting Sonya Blade, she throws like some kind of chemical and it short circuits.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. I was like,
okay, so that wasn't just me then.
No.
Okay, so then was his power not having laser vision, but having a mechanical eye that could shoot a laser?
I guess.
Wouldn't that have been just as simple as for the guys that were the monks that were fixing Jax to just put a plate of laser on his face or whatever?
Yes.
That would have been the same thing, right? Okay, yeah, just making sure.
I mean, we would like to think so. And the reason that I say that is like, you know, like to think so. But in the first movie, you know, he just has that metal grasp.
Yeah, he already had the metal plate.
Yeah.
Which is an iconic piece for the character, I guess you could say. I mean, they tried to stick very, very they tried to stick very much to the way the characters look. I think the Cabal character was super fucking awesome, dude.
Dude, that guy, A1, so funny.
I really think personally that him. Okay, so my cons of the film, I'll just go through this real quick. Where the Mary Sue moments where things just happen to fold into place. How OP Sub-Zero was in the very beginning, where he was just like going through these dudes like trash. Even at the end, he was kind of going through them like trash. The way they had a lot of throwaway characters, like the way Kung Lao dies, like I don't really like that too much. I feel like they didn't really flesh out a lot of the important characters. Where like Kung Lao was one of the first champions, but it is expressed that he was, and Liu Kang kind of feels like he's not supposed to be as important as him. But now Liu Kang's character can kind of step up where he'll eventually be the fire god. You know, they do lay some really good like pieces there. But what was that one vulture chick? The one with the wings?
Natara.
Okay, that chick's from the new video games, right?
She's
the insect chick, right?
She's actually relatively old. She's like she's like a 10-plus-year-old character.
She gets crushed so fast. All she does is fly around in the film. She never hits nobody. She never does anything. She just flies and is a CG head on a weird body. I was very like, why about that character? But then again, she plays very well into the one-liner fatality, flawless victory moments. I fucking hate whenever they say stupid shit like that from that. I just needed one to yell out toasty, dude.
I was really I thought it was hilarious when they were like
flawless victory.
No, it wasn't even just. It's not even just that, dude. Kano wins.
Yeah, yeah, that was fucking bright or whatever he says. Whatever.
Yeah, I thought it was.
I was literally expecting Cole at the end of the film to be like toasty when they roast Sub-Zero. Like I was, Sub-Zero. I was literally waiting for
her first release was in 2002. Ah, damn, dude, she's almost 20. Yeah, she's almost a 20-year-old character.
Yeah, but you see what I'm talking about? They just literally like, what did she do?
Yeah, no, she was almost completely.
She was useless. She just flew around Kung Lao, and then she finally gets down to his level, and he just rides her like a fucking minotaur and throws her into his cool hat.
Dude, her actress, man,
yeah, Louis Tan was a phenomenal in the film. I mean, dude, okay, so
dude, he's been getting his chops.
So his Scorpion, chops. Amazing. Shang Tsung, pretty fucking good for being like the one little scrawny, nerdy business accountant guy from Batman, being real like slimy, to like this guy who's standing there with confidence. Like he really sold the Shang Tsung character. The only thing that I don't like is that he looks like a cosplayer. Yeah, he looks straight up like a dude wearing a Shang Tsung costume. The wig looks horrible. The armor looks bad. They could have kind of reached out to a lot of like the Eastern production companies that make costumes for like the fucking for like those record time pieces, like the time period pieces, right? Mm-hmm. They could have reached out to them to make them a very, very fancy Shang Tsung outfit, but it is what it is. The guy with the hammer, he came out in Flawless or Fearless with Jet Li.
Yeah,
he's that one big dude that always comes. He did a great job. The Goro cinematography was fucking amazing, dude. I
thought it was funny.
He looked great. Like the character looked fucking great. The fight scene, not so much. My biggest thing was like, why even send Goro to this cabin in the woods?
Right, dude. I thought like they would have. I thought it would have been better to send Cabal.
There were parts of me that were kind of like, wait, those were really weird, odd choices. At the end, when they're like, oh, Raiden, you can kind of teleport anybody where you want, right? I was like, well, that's terrible writing. Like, why didn't he just teleport him to space or some shit?
Right.
Yeah, like, why the fuck did he why doesn't he teleport him into a volcano or some shit? Like, there were just these really weird, like, there were parts that were just Mary Sued in, which I was not very happy with.
Which I get, but at the same time, it wasn't in the script, you know?
But I feel like if this movie took itself too seriously, it would have fucked up. That's what I feel.
I also think that easy way outs like that sometimes are just the fucking gayest thing ever. They're
I
just
mean, but
so shitty. Like,
yeah,
well, cool. Now I have a 45-minute movie.
yeah.
I have a short story. Thanks.
Yeah, I just feel like if this movie would have been super serious, it wouldn't have been good. It wouldn't have made sense. You and I were even talking about it earlier, where I kind of feel like the idea of Cole not being the descendant of Scorpion, but being the child, but where Raiden just displaced them in a time. I think that would have given more to the fantasy storytelling of it, because then it would show that Raiden is timeless, right? But I guess it being where he was a descendant worked kind of well too. But then my question is, well, why was he in fucking Chicago or Detroit? Like, why wasn't he living in the mountains where his mom was or his family?
500.
You know what I mean, though.
Prior,
so, but the idea is like,
man, a person, a family can go a lot of places in 500.
yeah.
years.
But my thing is, I kind of want to know that context.
See, god damn it, Chris, you're so fucking cynical sometimes.
I need that context. It's just, I think it was just easy writing for that character to be there.
Why do you need that?
Look, watch
the overall story.
Look, watch.
Well, no, answer the question first.
No, wait. What was the question? And then I'm going to ask you one.
What does it do for the overall story to know that context?
Wait, say it again.
What does it do for the overall story to know that context?
You get to see the importance of who his mother was in the mountain universe or whatever the fuck. Like, in the aspect of it, she grew up in the same place that Kung Lao and Liu Kang and all of those people were, right? Why would she leave that world if you have all of this fantasy? Why leave that importance of the realm and all that other stuff to just leave when you come from a roaring clan in the first place?
Because if it's the fucking mountains, dude, it sucks up there. TV.
They got mechanical arms and shit. They got a fucking
dude. What's it gonna do?
They got a Tesla coil in the middle of a cave, bro.
Get out of here. What is it gonna do? Jerk me off? Fuck that.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, George probably says it the best. Sum it up: great action, fatalities, but lacks character development. Mic drop. Sums it up. That's very, very serious. But you know what? Like, the pros to this,
like them giving us a little bit more on Sonya and Jax being original characters, and give us a little bit more context on them. We had more character development. Sorry, we had more character explanation for Kano than we did Sonya.
Yes, that was really weird. I kind of feel like since the director knew that people were gonna love Kano, he wanted to get more of him in the film than anything.
Robert, I have a feeling everyone thought that. And if you didn't, you were high.
What did he say?
He was like, I told you about Kano and I was right.
I mean, Kano was going to be good, but you know, the missing star of the show, and I'm not going to lie, is I really, really think Cabal sold it, man.
I think he was like the hidden gem.
Yeah, he was the hidden gem of that film, because even when you put him next to Kano's character, I kind of feel like he was a little bit funnier and he acted better.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like I loved, man, Cabal is the best thing, dude. Pros though, the fighting scenes were good. There were some things that were a little weird. There was like that weird stabbing thing with Reptile and Sonya when she like spins to stab him in the ribs, and there were some of the fight scenes that were kind of like drawn out a little too long. That kind of like they lost a lot of their impact in the middle of it, which to me was the first connection between Sonya and Katana. Like when they first fight and they're in that one part and she's like, you don't even have a marking, you're useless or whatever.
Melina.
Yeah, Melina. I kind of feel like when they're fighting in that weird cave area before that, like they're doing a lot of like rolls and flips and weird movements that don't really,
it's a lot of wire foo.
Yeah, like I kind of feel like they did it in some parts a little too much. And then in other parts they were fucking solid.
For me, if I'm gonna say anything about wire foo, it's the moment that you meet Kung Lao, and I thought that was straight out of the video game. It looked very bouncy.
Boom, he fucking flies out of the ground, does a 540, fucking does like some fucking it would look amazing, dude. It looked literally.
But at the same time, I was also kind of like, this looks too much like a video game. Lost respect after that, Chris.
Thank you, Eels, bro. No, but straight up, like, I do like how, okay, you and I both agreed on this.
If they cast the Miz as fucking Johnny Cage, I'm done with this franchise.
I'm done with the whole franchise, dude.
Yeah.
John Cena and shit. I kind of feel like the ending sucked, but the fight scene was great.
The ending.
Okay, being that I was telling you that a lot of stuff is Mary sued in and it's bad writing, the idea with the knife, the kunai, and bringing in Scorpion at the end, and them setting up Scorpion, like, I kind of feel like that was super lackluster on how they brought him in with Cole, Cole's character. Like, I didn't see an importance. Like, I don't see an importance on how Cole, being that he was never a part of the story in the first place, is the reason why Scorpion, the biggest character in Mortal Kombat, came back. Like, and it, I don't even know how the knife played a reason on how he came back.
The only way that I can even see that happening is just an anchor, you know, like trope in it, like, oh, your blood mixing in with my blood activated an anchor where I could come.
Well, okay, so that's what Eels just said. Edgar said, he goes blood to blood, blood for blood. So was it the idea of Cole's blood, or was it Sub-Zero's blood that needed to be on it?
I think it was probably Cole's, since he's the descendant. I mean, or at least
it already had all the blood from the other dude on it.
But for me, I thought was kind of like, I mean, if we're gonna go with that logic, then that would have been lazy in the way that, like, you can tell me that Raiden couldn't possibly have known that after a millennia of living.
Or why didn't fucking
like, he should have cut him in and been like, hey man, so we're gonna get your ancestor on this. You
yo, Bet, sorry about this. Ow, what'd you cut me for? Oh no, I need this guy.
Yeah,
you're cool, but
you're cool.
Yeah, you're cool, bro, but you can't win an MMA fight.
Yeah.
So we need to bring back your grandpa or whatever.
Yeah.
That was the fucking weirdest thing to me, man. How did even Cole know how to activate it?
I don't think he did. I think it was just one of those, like, oh, it happened.
Well, he took it out and he tried to stab Sub-Zero with it. And then Sub-Zero was like, nah, bro, this is for you. And he fucking catches, like, dude, God damn it.
It's supposed to be pros, not cons, dude.
Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like, the introduction of Scorpion, that was a really great fight scene.
Congratulations, guys. Now you all have seen Chris Jaded yet again. He has no pros.
I have what?
He has no pros about this movie.
No. You know what? The ending scene, the whole cinematography with the gym covered in ice, like them hitting the cage and all the ice falling down.
Yes,
like,
dude,
there was some really fucking awesome cinematography shots.
This was a beautiful movie.
Yeah, I was gonna like that 100%. Like that 100% was there.
These people cared about the locations that they shot in, that they like wanted to use the environment around them and stuff like that. No, I thought it was a beautiful, like, cinematography, like, you know, esque movie. And you know what? Like, they did not skimp, and you know what? It showed. Like, I loved it. Obviously, you know, like I said, you know, 100 times already, you know, the fights were amazing. Do I think that more could have gone on?
Yes.
In this movie, 100%.
Oh, 100%. I think fighting wise they had it. Story wise they didn't.
Yeah. That's why I say it's a solid 7 out of 10. You know, like, it's an okay story. There's definitely that should have been a lot more. But the fighting and the gore and just even some of the tropiness, for me, made it the 7 out of 10.
How did you feel about the Iron Man upgrade for Jax in the middle of the rock lifting scene?
I thought that was funny.
I thought it was very weird. Yeah.
That's how you get your metal arms?
Yeah, okay. That kind of like felt very weird to me, dude.
Yeah.
Like, so does that mean
I love his thunderclap though, just boom.
So does that mean that if, like, he's in a fight and someone breaks his arm, like, he could just, like, fix it back? Or if he loses another limb, will it change to metal? Like, it doesn't really explain to me much about the power essence of that situation. Because if that's the case and those guys put those arms on him, was it the metal arms that they got from the other realm that did that, and then it activated with his quirk or whatever it is that they call it? Shit, I don't know, man. It confused the fuck out of me.
For me, it's 3 simple words, and I say this about a lot of things that you sometimes fucking talk about when it comes to context, and it's 3 very simple words. Who fucking cares?
Well, I mean, the thing is we want the franchise to be done right.
Yes, but at the same time, I also don't want like an overload of information. I think an overload of information is the stupidest thing you could do in a franchise. Then fucking Snyder cut it. Give me 4 hours of every single explanation.
Do we need a Mortal Kombat Snyder cut?
No.
4-hour Mortal Kombat film, dude.
No, you don't want that. You know
they're gonna start it, dude.
No, they won't.
I guarantee someone's gonna start it.
The start is gonna be like, you better make this a series. You better make this a fucking trilogy.
You know what? Deep down inside, I kind of feel like this would have been a very good like Netflix series or like
Do I think it probably could have been better as a Netflix series?
Yeah, I kind of do too.
And mostly just to like shut your ass up about it so that every single little thing could be explained, where every episode is a backstory, you know, and then like the last 2 episodes is the tournament or whatever.
You know what? But I did like all, like you said, like the tropes that are in it are very cool. Like the way that they were training Cole and Kano, where it kind of had the old school, like, okay, well, this is Mortal Kombat, guys. Let's get you to fight each other because we're getting ready for the tournament and whatnot. And they were just fighting in that little pit.
I liked that, but
yeah, me too.
The one thing that I didn't like and I thought was very pointless and 100% pointless was, yes, Tony, we know it was already done. It was actually amazing, and as a matter of fact, I think that series was probably better than this.
Yeah, story wise,
yes, 100%, because they flesh out a lot of things that you complain about. Why have Kano just beat down on Cole? I thought that was dumb.
Yeah, I mean, for what it's worth, like, because the scene right before that, it was, I guess, the mental abuse from Kung Lao to Kano. And then he unlocks his powers.
Yeah, so they were,
and then they were like, "Okay, cool. This guy's got his power. He's one of us now. So this guy's the only one left. Let's just have him kick his ass."
Yeah, but still, I was like, "You're telling me that you can't just fucking have Cole just get ragged on for 2 minutes?" And
yeah, like he can't get it the same way.
Yeah,
like why does he have to keep getting his ass kicked? And this guy got it from just being told he
was like, sucks. Oh, it is pain.
Kano, the hardest guy on the planet, gets mad and sad because they tell him he sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call him, what does they call him? A chubby guy or a pig or something like that?
Yeah, a fat dog.
Yeah, so then that's what hurts his feelings, dude.
Yeah, right. You're a fat dog.
What can we see for the second film?
Them obviously recruiting Johnny, and probably him giving them some sort of runaround on why he shouldn't do it. And, I bet at the very end, like he does the tournament and he's like, this would make a great movie.
You remember we did our Mortal Kombat episode and they were talking about how like the Sonya Blade and Johnny Cage child was apparently like this chosen chick that was going to take out like the main bad guy.
It was actually Johnny. And the only reason that I think that or the only reason that like I know that right now is just because I had to, like, I was just doing some background information
research
on like some of these characters before coming in here, because honestly guys, I have not dedicated any real time to Mortal Kombat in like 10 years.
So, don't feel bad.
I haven't really kept up with like a lot of like what was going on. Now, with that being said, I thought that another really big hitting point for me and something that I really liked was the fact that they showed you a lot of characters that are already there.
Oh, they even spoke about Baracho and stuff like that.
Yeah, so they kind of spoke about Baraka a little bit. They hinted on Shao Kahn. It even looked like Kotal Kahn was also kind of in it. The great guy, the original Kung Lao, was also there. Like I said, they had a good roster. They had a solid roster.
Okay, so Robert asked a good question, and he says, I was wondering if Cole Young had a mark. I wonder if his daughter had it too. Well, she wouldn't get it. She wouldn't get it until he died.
right?
And then it passes on through the bloodline, because that's how I'm guessing he got it from his mother, and so forth, on and on and on through the bloodline.
Yeah,
I'm guessing it passes on. If no one goes and kills you and takes it, then I'm guessing it just keeps going on and on through your bloodline.
right. I mean, we would like to think that.
I mean, yeah, we could probably just come to terms that that's probably how it did it. Of course, the actor that played Scorpion did an amazing job. The guy who did Sub-Zero also did quite an amazing fucking job.
I mean, dude, Joe Taslim is just such an accomplished martial artist. He's like a 3-time judo champion. Like, this guy knows how to fight. He's also so he's actually not Chinese, he's Indonesian. And he came out in the Raid. For anyone who loves those movies, he came out in the first Raid. He was the captain, or like the sergeant, the commanding officer of like that whole squad that goes into the building and stuff like that. Although I don't think that movie quite highlights his fighting abilities. Like, it does, but to like a certain extent. I think the fight between Bihan and Hanzo is just beautiful.
I think they did a fantastic job.
I really want to state this, and this is for anyone who caught it. Did you notice that there was only 2 people who actually got like vapored out when they died, or like after they died, being Goro and Bihan? That's it.
Well, yeah, because they're probably going to use that guy who brings people back to life. What's his name?
Quan Chi, maybe?
Yeah, they're probably going to use the Sorcerer Quan Chi in the next film. And I'm guessing like a Minotaur probably will come back, or like maybe they'll probably even do that.
Maybe, who knows? This very well could be like a perfect setup for Noob Saibot. For the noob character. And then they'll have I forget the new Sub-Zero. I forget his actual name. It's like
the little brother, right?
Yeah, it's like Luang something, like that's obviously what we're probably gonna get. Bihan is now gonna be Noob. And but yeah, dude, I think the second movie, is probably gonna hint on the fact that, like, one, they're either looking for the new champions, or they've found a couple or something like that, and they're just trying to get Johnny, and Johnny's just giving the most resistance, and then like something happens to like his set or something like that, and he goes with them finally. Who knows? So
you feel like the second movie may kind of like revolve a little bit more around Johnny Cage as a character, since he's kind of plays like this important role in the series. Yeah. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. Him and Liu Kang, I guess, are the major 3, right?
Yeah, him, Sonya, and Johnny.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense. I kind of, with the way that they did Goro, I'm kind of excited to see how they do Shao Kahn. Oh, because I think Shao Kahn in the old movies was a silly looking guy, but
dude, so cringe. But back then, we didn't know any better.
It was 90s, 2000 movie or whatever.
Like, oh yeah, Shao Kahn.
Yeah. But like, I kind of feel like they showed that statue of him. And if he's kind of any similar to the way they do the CG for like Goro or anything like that, I think they're going to do him spectacular, dude.
Nail it.
Yeah, it's going to be so good.
So cool.
Yeah. I think you're absolutely correct, man. I think Mortal Kombat as a movie, 7 out of 10. Would I spend the money to go see it in a theater? Yeah, it's not really like a date movie. No, but like if you're gonna go just to go and kind of like hang out with some homies and just kick it with some friends, and you guys are just gonna go do some shit, like
people die.
Yeah, just gonna watch some fucking action scenes. Yeah, is it anything like the Avengers? No, but it's fun. It was fun. It didn't reach the expectation of what I expected it to be from what I expected it from the series that we were talking about earlier.
100% agree with that. It did not reach the expectation that I had, but then again, I always kind of wonder, like, did I have too much of an expectation for it?
Yeah, that was probably it. I think the marketing really did a great job, and they sold the hype, and yeah. But 7 out of 10, guys. 7 out of 10 for us. Mortal Kombat. The average boy is 7 out of 10. So what do we got coming up next? Let's say,
Robert, I don't know, man. I'd have to say that this one is probably, like, in my opinion, probably a little bit better, but probably just because of the action sequences.
I kind of feel like the old 1995 and even the Annihilation one were good because they're cheesy.
Yeah.
Like that's really what it is, because it's kind of like it follows more of the comic, or not the comic, the game quotes, than it does making itself an actual story. Where this one is kind of like being an actual story. It wants to be a movie. Like there's a lot of wanting in this, and it's trying to keep that fantasy still alive. Like you know, if you were to go back and remember the old movies, Annihilation, when they brought Cyrax in that one scene, he looked awesome as fuck, but it looks so like, wow, this is a weird looking robot. It looks like a dude in a a police outfit.
Yeah.
But then you look at Cabal in this one, and they really did a great job with Cabal. So yeah, I would say easily, like we said, 7 out of 10. I feel like it's story wise a little bit better than the old films. Tropey wise, I kind of feel like the old films kind of did a little bit better, with them looking like the characters from the stories and stuff like that, and selling that. But I do like what they're doing with it. I really, really do. And I can't wait for the second one. Can't wait for the second one. Alrighty, Trigger. On to the next subject.
Just give it to me, dude.
Did you get to see the new episode of Invincible? Tell me.
Yes.
ASMR. Trigger ASMR. How do you feel?
It was amazing.
The show did an excellent job.
Let down at all.
Guys, if you are not watching Invincible on Prime Video, or if you don't have a Fire Stick to watch it, you are missing out on probably one of the greatest, if not one of the craziest fucking superhero stories out right now in animation. This past episode was, I believe, episode 8? 7? It was action packed from the beginning, dude. Like right when it started, the action never stopped. And it's like edge of your seat action packed all the way through. It was so good. Of course, Trigger and I have said this before, it does deviate a lot from the comics. It's even going a little bit farther out now.
Yeah, dude. Now they're so the whole thing with what happens with Robot, that doesn't happen till issue 34.
Yeah, it's really far out there, man.
34. Omni-Man's already come back at this point. he's gone and come back.
And we're talking about gone from the situation that's about to happen right now.
Yeah.
Which isn't the gone that he did when he fought that alien community a while back. Not that gone, where that just took an hour or 2 hours or whatever.
Yeah, that took an afternoon.
Yeah,
that was it.
We're talking about when Omni-Man actually leaves.
Yeah, leaves Earth. Okay, and so with that being said, I have to say this. And this is something that's kind of bothered me, and I'm pretty sure I already have the answer to this if I just look at it hard enough. But so in that episode 3 or something like that, he destroys the entire Flaxen army, and like it looks like he kills the entire Flaxen race. I hope that is not a thing, because if he killed all of them, he has essentially taken away like 30% of the overall story
arc.
Yeah, in like
it's not
Invincible series.
Yeah, it's not. I bet you it was one of those things like he was just telling his side of the story on how he finished off the people, but he really didn't do that.
I'm hoping not.
Yeah, his father's a liar, man. He just tells people what they want to hear.
I don't know, but like, I mean, because we see it in the show, he like destroys the planet essentially.
Yeah, but the thing is those people that he's a part of, they don't destroy planets; they conquer them.
Granted, but he's mad, and when Viltrumites get mad, they get very, very mad. And this is like, I'm just gonna destroy everything. They see red, and I think that's kind of like what was hinting at like the red tones and stuff like that. He's seeing red, and everything dies. Who knows? Who knows? They haven't really fleshed that out a whole lot, but the reason that I say that is because the whole reason that that robot is young is yes to connect with Monster Girl.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and there is a point in the comic book where robot Rudolph Connors and Monster Girl, they go to the Flaxen universe and they're there for thousands of years.
Mm-hmm.
So when they come back, they're like aged up. They're like in their 20s and stuff like that. And you know, Monster Girl, I think her name is Amanda or Samantha or something like that.
Yeah.
And she is gorgeous. Gorgeous. Everybody is like, yo, what's good? And so she was like, yo, I'm like 3,000 years old, dude. You know, you should not be doing this. This is gross. You know, it's one of those things where it's kind of like, dude, that was a really, really important part of like all of what happens in
That's the thing is like this goes back to the way Invincible as a comic started, and then when they tried to fix it to now, it's very, very weird because when it first came out, it was pretty much cut and dry. And then when they tried to refix the series is when they added time travel. And they did the revamp of the whole series. I don't know if you remember that. But yeah, I remember that because the actual people that created the comic were the ones that were like, yeah, we're trying to we're trying to fix the problems that we were having with the comic. Because they wanted to flesh out the Viltrumite War with that one general guy, right?
See, but that was the thing, like, because I know that, like, yeah, that was the thing, but even then, it didn't do anything for the comic book as a whole. And I say that because, like, nothing changes. And I said that last time. Nothing changed. Nothing. Like then, all like there's because and because this is kind of like what we talked about, like what we're going to talk about for Falcon and Winter Soldier later about the whole time travel thing. That's an isolated thing. That's like whatchamacallit, like I think it's called like It's a Good Life or something like that. Where a guy, a really, really rich guy is like made poor, but he's now like 20 years like or like 5 years like previous, but he remembers everything of his previous life, but he's
Flashpoint.
It's kind of, but Flashpoint was shittier. Oh, dude, I'm gonna look up this movie. I think it's called It's a Good Life or something.
It's a Good Life. I know what you're talking about. It's an old school movie.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, I know that even like right now.
Yeah, Christmas Story. Anyway, yeah, dude, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like one of those like, oh, dude, like you could stay here, and everything is so much better, you know. And yeah, there you go. And he's like, but do I get to go home to my daughter though? And they're like, well, yeah. I mean, we're taking you back to your timeline. Okay, I'll go with my daughter. Oh, dude, but that's so lame. Like, why would you do that? Like, look at how much good you've done. Yay, it's my wife.
Hey, what's up, Audrey?
And she's bringing food. My wife.
Snack time.
Yeah. And yeah, like I said, dude, he goes back to his original timeline. Guess what? Nothing fucking changed.
Well, but the thing is when they originally started Invincible, right? When it first came out, they didn't want to have timeline. They didn't want to have time travel at all. But the thing is, they wrote themselves to a certain point that they were like, man, dude, I wanted to do it different. And then the team came together and was like, you know what? Let's
Smart Hook sinking in.
Let's put a dude who does time travel. I don't know what you're watching, man. let's put a dude who has the superpower to travel, and he'll go back and he'll change it. And then that's when the whole thing about like Omni-Man becoming a good guy, him fighting against that one general that's always about conquering and coming to the Earth, and them going to battle, and then you know the one-eyed dude helping him out and being friends. And
I think for me it was a like, and I don't even think that it has to do with with that all that much. Sorry, with like the overall story of Invincible. And for me, I don't think it was to fix anything. I think it was just to show that like that Mark is more human than he lets on.
Yeah. Well, the dad too.
Well, yeah, because like, that was the whole thing that, like Mark changed him and Mark,
and his little
this,
brother.
that, and the other, because that's a huge shift from the comic book. Omni-Man does not say any of what he's prepared to say to.
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. Like, I was like, dude, this is
doesn't say
the series is almost flushing out the emotional content that we were supposed to feel as the readers in the story, but didn't get. Because in the story, like Omni-Man just does because he does. And it's not until the ending of what happens in the next, I'm guessing, episode is when you realize Omni-Man's like, I'm torn between myself, and then bounces out.
Yeah, that was the thing.
But we're getting that now already.
Yeah,
we got that like 2 episodes ago.
Well, not even then, but like, that the episode starts with that conversation that he's going to have in like issue 20 with with Mark.
Way after this, yeah.
Where he's like, you know what? Like, yeah, dude, you did make me better. And I am sorry, but I'm not these things and I can be better. And, and then right after that, the Viltrumites come and they take him and blah. And then you finally get a lot more story for Omni-Man and stuff like that. But that's the thing. Like, and for me, like this, and for me, it makes it very torn between the series and the comic book. And the reason that I say that is because, like, do I want the comic book where it was in the comic book, he flies him all over the world, not just America, the world, throwing him into things.
Yeah, beating him the fuck up.
And not just beating him up, but killing people because he's throwing him so hard. He'll throw him into buildings and the buildings just collapse onto each other. Like, we're talking like
catastrophic event.
Yeah. Like, he's throwing him into subways and the subways exploding underground. He's killing thousands of people with his fight with Mark. And he's like, these people mean nothing. Nothing. These people are infinitesimal to your life. Nothing. I didn't care about you. I didn't care about your mom. I don't care about this world. Whatever. Fuck this world. I'll burn it to the ground if I have to. And so he was like, man, you can't believe that. These people are your friends. He was like, fuck my friends. What the fuck do you think you are? Like, I'm like 5,000 years old. These people are a fucking gnat to me. They're nobody.
Yeah, there's a really good villainous explanation of Omni-Man in the comics. Yeah, where I feel like
that's why I'm kind of like, but
will we get that?
Do I want the comic or do I want the series? Because this is a series, you're seeing him very humanized, to a point. Because like I think his inner conflict is coming out way too early, way too early. But
you know what? Like, going on that, I feel like it's coming out way too early. Because I feel like in the next episode, he's going to reach a point where he's like, fine, fuck you all then. Like, I kind of feel like they're building it to where he's going to lose that control and then just revert back to what he was originally supposed to be. And then, of course, I think it'll be great.
And I wouldn't mind seeing that. I really wouldn't. Where it's, like, he's going to talk to Mark and he's going to be like, dude, I'm not a murderer. And Mark is probably going to be like, yeah, you are, dude. You just killed the Immortal again on live fucking television, you idiot. And so he's like probably gonna be like, dude, fuck these people. What the fuck do I care about these people? And then
that's what I kind of feel too. I kind of feel like in that part, like, I kind of feel like that pretty much how it's gonna go, where it's gonna be Mark's gonna be like, I can't believe you did that, and then he's gonna be like, well, listen to me, I had to. I can't believe you did that. I had to. I can't believe you did that. You're supposed to be this. And he's like, you know what? Well, then fine. Fuck you. I'm going to tell you the truth. And and he's going to be like, join me or fucking go kaput.
Yeah. And he was like, dude, but I'm your son. I can make another one. No problem.
Yeah, that's not a problem. I have another one of the other people I went to go fuck up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. No, ain't no skin off my sack. Dude,
but I think this past episode, look, 100%. Anybody that's out there watching on our YouTube, Twitch, or Facebook, if you have not had the opportunity to go out and see Invincible, the television show, you are really missing out on something spectacular.
Oh yeah.
Like this past episode by itself was
just
so
an amazing-
damn just action packed, dude. It was action from the beginning of the episode to the ending, and the cinematography and some of the animated parts were like my favorite scene throughout the entire episode was the shot that's like half of the body and the cape is flowing of Omni-Man when he's standing on the mountain, and he's like, Mark, let me tell you, I have something that I need to tell you. He's trying to explain, but he doesn't know how to say it. So he's there by himself talking to himself. And it's this fucking, like, it looks like a wallpaper to a computer. Like, it's so epically made where it's like he's on the rule of third, which is like his body is not centered in the shot. His cape is flowing in the wind. And then all of a sudden he just drops his weight and bounces, and he like Mach 3 bounces out of that area like so fucking fast.
For me, and this was I loved it, and I loved seeing this, was when the hammer is finally coming down and he looks at the camera and he's like, you wouldn't dare.
You wouldn't dare.
And I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be a good episode.
dude, action packed through and through, man.
Yeah. This was very, very straight out of the comic book, was the fight between the Immortal and Omni-Man.
Oh, Omni-Man, yeah.
That happened exactly the same.
Like shot for shot almost.
Yeah, I mean, he was just as pissed off. He was saying pretty much the exact same thing, except obviously there was a lot more dialogue between the two of them, you know, in the comic book, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, the "we were your friends" part.
You know, he was like,
it's really expressed more in the comic.
You know, and then that's when he kind of tells them, he was like, I never needed you guys. And like just goes to
and just starts railing on him.
Yeah.
But man, dude, like I said, through and through a great episode.
Early on, it appears to be
what the
really great season. Trigger keeps on looking at our websites. I keep on bringing up Spanish stuff.
Yeah, dude. Actually, it's for this new game that it's on my fucking timeline on Facebook. It's called Returnal. For anyone who's not, you know, who's never heard of this, very much like myself, this looks amazing.
What is it about?
Or
what does it look like?
It looks very much like Dead Space, except aliens.
Except aliens?
Yeah, except not zombie aliens, like tentacle aliens.
Oh, very cool.
This looks
but guys, through and through, Invincible, the last episode was probably literally like 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10. Like the action from the very beginning to the end, especially picking up from the last episode that kind of dealt more with the best friend and the college and the weird zombie robot dudes from that one guy. Like this even used, I mean, it kind of like correlates into almost every episode that's happened so far. That's what's really, really good about this animation, this series, is it always kind of goes back to like a previous episode. Like it's always like calling back to like episode 3 or episode 4 or episode 1. Like it's always calling back. And this one was a really good callback because you got to see the continuation of what happened to the guy that came out in episode 6.
Yes.
Was that the one in the university?
Yeah, D.A. Sinclair.
Yeah. So you got to see that situation and what's going on with him and how he's being used now by the government, and how the what's the CIA guy's name? Siegfried or Sinclair? No.
Yeah, no. Sinclair is
that's the scientist guy.
Yeah. Cecil Stedman.
You get to see how he uses people to he's very Nick Fury, dude, like super Nick Fury, like by any means necessary.
Yeah, if Nick Fury was like weird white.
Yeah, weird white, bald and shit. So yeah, guys, if you haven't had an opportunity to go check it out, I think you guys would get a definite kick out of the newest episode of Invincible. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10, super amazing.
Guys,
onwards.
The context for people. I know people who don't read comic books whatsoever. And they have seen Invincible and have just fallen head over heels,
dude. Man, the love the comic is getting, the love the series is getting, I'm so happy for.
And the compendiums on Amazon,
they're sold out.
They are sold out.
I'm fucking
out.
super ecstatic for him, dude.
Robert Kirkman should be fucking doing rails in his fucking bathroom right now. Just
tossing, bro. So good. I'm so happy that Invincible, the series, is finally getting some love, dude.
And you
know what? That's like one of our first episodes that we had together, dude.
Yeah.
When we talked about it. And I
it was like our fourth or fifth.
Dude, I'm so happy for the series, dude. It's been needing some love.
And that's when we had talked about that they were not only going to do a live action, but that they were going to do an animated version. Because I hear that the live action is still coming.
Nice. Robert has a good point. Imagine if he buys DC. Imagine if Robert Kirkman buys DC.
I would rather see the guy who did Spawn.
Todd McFarlane?
Yeah.
I mean, that would be cool. I mean, I don't think he would.
Neither do I.
Yeah, he wouldn't spend his money on it. He's already developed Spawn and Image and shit.
Yeah.
Me personally, I still think Disney should buy out DC. I still think that they would do better justice for this series, and they'll put a lot more better, smarter people behind it too. But speaking of Marvel, on to the next and our final conversation piece for the day.
To the reason why we're doing this today.
To the reason why we're here.
Yeah.
Guys, the season finale of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Wow.
Triggs, your initial reaction.
Tears.
Bro, I was so blown away by this whole series. I think
and I will die on this hill. Falcon and Winter Soldier has done more with the street level characters and has made me feel for them a whole lot more than WandaVision did. And I will die on this hill yet again, but Falcon and Winter Soldier is way better than WandaVision.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say
rushed. Its story was never boring. It carried the story as a whole far better. There was a whole lot more character development. They didn't wait till the very last minute to give us the character explanations on a lot of things. It had the emotion from start to finish. It was a beautiful show. Beautiful.
Through and through, I think it went beyond my expectations. And the reason why is I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not at all happy the way they've ever handled the Falcon character in the comic books. I was very disappointed with what they did when they did give him the shield and they changed his name to Captain America, because I truly believed that Marvel could not get behind the idea of a black man carrying a franchise. So they needed to use Captain America's name. But I feel story-wise, the series literally fleshed out any feelings I've ever had of hating Marvel for doing that in the first place. Because, again, I will say it like I've done a million times. Anthony Mackie has done such an amazing job as the Falcon. And the Marvel writers of Winter Soldier and all that stuff have done an amazing job of bringing him to Captain America and making a whole new Captain America for the world to see.
Yeah.
Truly, truly amazing. I hate the idea of them tokenizing characters, but
for me, it wasn't just the tokenizing of the characters. And you know what? I have complete faith in the Anthony Mackie Captain Falcon. Reason being is because the dialogue that he has with the senators.
Oh, I want to talk about that too. You know what? Before we go on with that, Robert surprised me with this one. And IGN, they don't know. They can kiss your guys' asses. And I saw your comment about it on Chris. IGN went out and put out a thing saying that they disliked Captain America and the Winter Soldier. They disliked it because of the fact that the story was rushed and incoherent, and they didn't know what the story was about, and it felt very rushed and all this stuff. And I put a comment and I said, IGN, if you're out there, if you have questions, come to us. with the show here on the Average Boys and with the show The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we will answer all the questions that you want because you don't get it, and it's okay.
Stick to video games. Leave the comments.
We got you. Leave a comment, IGN, if you need help.
Yeah. Video games. Comics. Don't worry about it, homie.
Probably one of the most amazing things that I saw throughout this entire series was Sam Wilson literally having a sit down and talking to the senators. Like that moment at the end of the series when he was like, dude, you guys just need to talk to each other. That is like the first time I've ever seen that, where it's a really good disposition, explanation, monologue from superhero to politicians. Like I've never seen that in any superhero story.
For me, it felt like that's what Cap would have said. You know,
definitely
that Captain America would have said. It's the like.
It was a speech. It was one of the Cap speeches.
Yeah,
it was Anthony Mackie delivered it so well.
It was beautiful
that it felt so real. Like it felt so real. And I know that there were
like, and for the people who are gonna say this, and I totally understand the whole like woke and it being in current politics and stuff like that, and like people are like, oh man, this story was good, and then it started getting like with the woke politics and blah blah blah.
I've said it before too.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. We always try and stay away from that stuff. But you know what? In that particular instance, in the way that the story was developing, it was necessary. It was not just necessary, it was vital. Vital.
It was done classy.
Yes, but
it was done in a very classy way. It wasn't not classy. I think the only thing that felt rushed in this situation, and we've talked about this off camera before, was Sharon Carter's storyline. Like that storyline of the broker and all this other stuff, I kind of feel like that wasn't fleshed out enough. But everything else made sense. Yeah. We even talked about it in the last episode where we said, first off, I thought the Winter Soldier took off. I thought he had took off because the last episode was him being like, gonna catch my plane, laters, bro. Like, not gonna be here for this. You're on your own. And I was 100% like, okay, cool. Like, how's he gonna do this? Okay, so we know for sure that John Walker was gonna come back. And we knew that they were going to have to throw hands. But we know as comic book lovers that even though they disagree, John Walker is still a soldier who fights for the right cause.
Yeah.
So if they fought, it would have only been for the fucking shield. And if he would have come back, he would have fought for good, but he would have tried to kill Carly.
Yeah.
That was my thing. I don't think he would have came back to fight Falcon.
Yeah, and you know what? The fact that like when he does come back, and that line is such a is so tropey, but you know what? I like it, and it was appreciated.
I like how corny he is.
Yeah, it was the Mercy bears the strict justice, and I was like, oh, you big fucking bitch.
Dude, he's so corny. It's so good. It's almost like he's like the Hallmark version of Captain America. Like he's the one-liner of Captain America. Instead of having like really cool speeches, he just says like one or two quips.
He's Captain America from the 40s. I love it. But at the same time, dude, you know what? John Walker, he's now going to be a Leviathan agent. I'll tell you that right now. I think
you feel it.
Yeah. Just her just being really underhanded and stuff like that. And we've kind of spoken about this, how they're moving away from Hydra and probably going to start going into the Russian communist Russia Leviathan. I
mean, for being the woke culture, I think in our situation in society right now, Russia seems to be like our top priority against the United States, I guess you could say. In politics and stuff. So
Russia's pretty sus right now. I mean,
yeah. Well, so to put them as a villain, the way it was Germany back in the day with Nazis and stuff like that, it would make a lot of sense story-wise for them to go that route. And it was a missing part in the original phases of Marvel to not have, Crimson Dynamo and a lot of like the Iron Curtain and a lot of those guys from the Russian espionage squad. which are very prominent because, again, we talked about this in a couple episodes ago, where I feel that the reason why they wanted to release Widow, but they kept pushing back and they were really weird about it, is because I feel like Widow would have probably explained some of this like behind the scene espionage with like Valentina, maybe even explain a little bit more of Sharon Rogers as power broker. Like, I kind of feel like the Black Widow story might have had some answers for that.
It very well might. You know, who knows? This might be one of those where it's like, I mean, obviously we're going to get some more explanation in further movies. You know, obviously we would have loved to have had it, you know, given to us in Falcon and Winter Soldier. Because I mean, I feel like we had more Zemo development than we did Sharon.
Oh, dude, Zemo was such a star, man.
Yeah,
God, I need more, man.
Oh, dude, it was so good.
He's such a good boy, man.
Yeah. And
okay, so
dude, the fact that he's in the raft just makes me feel like that they're gonna kind of Suicide Squad him a little bit. They're
Thunderbolt Ross, man. Thunderbolt Ross is in charge of the raft. That's a Thunderbolt.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got a good comment here from Robert. He says, "Me, I love the idea of Black Captain America. I can't wait for this movie, and I hope people who are racist don't shit on it because we now have a Black Captain America." Well, Robert, we've had a Black Captain America for a pretty long while. If I'm not mistaken, he's probably been around since like 2015, 2017.
Well,
when Falcon got the shield.
Let me look it up. I want to say it was earlier. I want
to say it was 2015 because that's when we had a lot of the new Marvel now. Marvel.
I want to say that it was probably 2015. First appearance America. I think it may have been 2014. Yes.
Oh, yeah, I was pretty close. I was pretty close. Right off the top of my head.
America. Yes, he first appeared as Captain America in Captain America Volume 7, issue number 25 in December of 2014.
So you see, like with me, like back then, I was very happy for Sam to get it, and I just wanted Marvel to call him Captain Falcon, dude.
Yeah,
I was dying for a Captain Falcon reference, but of course, Smash Brothers owns the rights, or whatever F-Zero company owns it, and they won't let Marvel have it. So you have this idea of him now being Captain America, who was Falcon, but my biggest gripe, of course, was Falcon was already an established character, and I hated the fact that they took away his name because that character is renowned for what his character was, Sam Wilson's character. But I love all the Uncle Sam and all of the crazy references to the patrioticness of Sam Wilson's character in the series.
Yeah, I think that more than anything was probably the biggest highlight of the Winter Soldier. Sorry, of the Captain Falcon. Of the whole Winter Soldier thing. And the reason that I say that is because I didn't really I didn't really see a lot of this in the comic book, and this is more just me because if I'm going to be completely honest, I've never really concentrated on the Falcon comic book, you know, or the Falcon character in the comic book.
I
know who he is. I know what he's about. I know what he does. I know where he came from. I know plenty about him, but he was never a central focus for like why I read comics.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's been Iron Man. You know, you throw Iron Man into a comic book, I'm going to read it.
Well, for me, it's always been Cap.
Yeah.
I love Cap. I love the Hulk. I love Wolverine. Like, those are my three mains, right? And Hyperion, but Hyperion's got nothing. Like, there's really never anything written about him. So, but when, that whole entire part where Steve becomes too old, he gives Falcon the shield, and then I was all about that for a while, man. I was really all about that for a while. Even when Captain came back and Sam was like, "Hey, man, you're back. You're young. Here's your shield." And he's like, no, you keep it. I gave it to you for a reason. Just because I'm back doesn't mean I need my shield. That belongs to you now. And that's when he got that triangle shield, which is the one that they used in the Hydra story. Well, and then he got the one that detaches into two pieces. which is the reference they made in Avengers Endgame when they give him the Wakandan shield. There's
a U.S. agent, if I remember correctly, yeah, he had that like triangle looking one. The
for a little bit, yeah.
Like
the beautiful thing about U.S. agent is they hit it right on the mark too.
Energy shield and stuff like that, and like it's super cool.
Yeah, that's when he becomes part of the U.S. Avengers, though, the West Coast. Like they upgrade him when he becomes a real member of the Avengers squad. But the funny thing is, like, I like what they did where he made his own shield, and in the battle, like, they had to make it scene where the shield was getting fucked up. Because that's the way it was in the comic book. Every time U.S. agent went to fight, he always went in and they always had like a shield for that mission when he was like kind of brought in as U.S. agent. Because he never had the original shield and it always got fucked up. Yeah, so I really, really liked the fact that in this show, they kept showing his shield, like he would throw it and it wouldn't bounce off of the wall, or someone would punch it and it'd get dented. And there's like but then again, like you feel for him because he's been downgraded, but you know that there's something deep down inside that can make him good. Yeah. So like when he's there and he's blocking with his shield and you can see that every punch that's coming is denting it more and denting it more, denting it more. You're like, is he gonna get killed? And then all of a sudden he fucking snaps out of it and starts just beating the shit out of everyone. Like it was a very good nod to the original comic book arc for the U.S. agent character. Sam's introduction when he comes in to this, I don't even know what floor he was on, but he throws the shield in and he fucking hits that dude in the arm and he fucking gets on top of him and he's wearing the suit for the first time. Yeah. There's a part, and you could probably find it online. I'm not going to put it up in here anywhere, but there's a scene like when you're going through the frames that it looks like a fucking wallpaper, dude. The wings are extended. The shield is like in the forefront, like out of focus. And he's like coming into this. It looks like it's literally identical. I don't know if you noticed, but there was a lot of cinematography for patriotism. The ending scene when he's flying in with Carly and his wings are super expanded, his chest is real wide. There was a lot of like the beautification of Falcon's character.
Oh yeah, they had to make him look like an action figure.
When he walks in and he's like a silhouette and he's all like squared off in his chest, he walks all weird and shit.
He looked very
squarey.
Well, not squarey, dude. I was gonna say like, because I mean he had them fucking huge ass lats and that fucking.
Like his chest is all puffed up and shit.
Why you got your chest all puffed?
Yeah, man. Why y'all puffed, bro?
Yeah, why you all puffed up? Chest up. Who you squaring up with?
And then of course, like there was a lot of like the cool Spider-Man style references where the dude's like, "Yo, that's the Black Falcon," and the guy goes, "Nah, man, that's Captain America." Yeah.
Like, oh, shut up, bitch.
Yeah, yeah, man. Put that name on it. There was a lot of that, and I feel like it was put there to, of course, get the audience to be behind that notion, but I feel like they didn't need that they had already put enough in for us to be behind the Falcon. Like even when he catches the truck, he pushes the truck back. Like there were some amazing things that he did, which I didn't know how he did without the super soldier serum, but he did it. Like, and everybody saw that. And then of course, Bucky and U.S. agent both know he does not have the secret serum. So they know that he's just a man and he's out there doing as much as he can. And they see that sacrifice in him where everybody else just thinks he's a superhero. So they correlate him to superheroes.
God's work. Doing God's work.
Yeah, man. I mean, I was very impressed on how they handled every character in the final episode, minus, of course, Sharon Carter. Yep. Yeah, who just magically appeared out of nowhere. She happened to have the same technology as the Black Widow. She was talking about how she didn't want to leave Madripoor because she had a better thing going on, but then left to be there.
Oh, because of the warrants, of like her record, her criminal record.
Yeah, but she was running around the politicians and cops and everyone all day.
Yeah, I know.
So that doesn't. Even at the end, she's sitting there with Bucky. Like, and they're just kind of casually hanging out.
About that, they're like, "Hey, man, like, are you sure you should be here?" And she was like, "It's okay."
But why now? You see what I'm talking about? Like it was a little weird. And then for her to be even revealed, and we talked about it too. We called it also, where we talked about how we knew that Sharon Rogers had hired Carly to steal from the power broker. Right?
Yeah.
But Carly did not know that Sharon was the power broker who Carly stole from the super serum stuff. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Which means Sharon Carter in some way wanted the super soldier serum out in the market. She wanted people to be changed. She wanted people to be super serumed up or winter soldiers or whatnot. The Winter Soldier program. My question is this. Where are they referencing any of this stuff from the comics? Because I mean, I'm pretty thorough in the Captain America world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Sharon Carter, as a character, has never really gone dark.
Not like this.
Never like this. Never like this.
Not like this. The worst that we got her was obviously in Civil War, where she shoots Cap the second time.
Yeah,
because
she's the one that shoots him with the aging serum.
Yeah, because the first shot comes from Crossbone. And that's the one that like makes him fall, and then he shoots him again
with a little sick shot.
Yeah, and like that's what does him in.
Yeah,
and so it's kind of like one of those things where like, but then again, she was brainwashed in that. So like,
yeah, by Dr. Faust.
Yeah, so like there was a lot of leniency there, but this, and I've said this before, and us as comic book continuity, Nazis at points, we really have to like sometimes step away from the fact that the MCU is not always going to follow the comics, and that they need something fresh that we're not ever going to hear about. And I like that, because you know what? The MCU is proving to us that they can tell a story on their own, and that they can give it to us, and that it's going to be good. Look at Falcon and Winter Soldier. This is never done in the comic book. Not that I'm aware of.
Kind of, it has.
Not really.
And even right now, they're doing another variation of it where they just added the U.S. agent.
Yeah,
but during the Captain Falcon,
but even
comic book storyline,
and all that, and this had nothing to do with.
No,
I know what story you're talking about.
Yeah, but during the comic book storyline of Sam Wilson getting the shield, there was a lot of this jargon with him and Bucky also.
Yeah, but then like they had nothing to do with the Flag Smashers. This is just so low level that this would have been a fucking terrible comic to read.
Well, I mean,
I would not have cared.
This is through and through how Marvel's always kind of done their stories, where they take one core story and they grab it from all the different arcs and they kind of put them in there because they have so much material to pull from.
I know, but but what I'm saying is that the MCU doesn't need to do that anymore. Like all they can do is just pull from core material and then expand from there in their own way. That they don't need to just follow a comic book.
Well, this is where I feel like Marvel has issues, which is all of the original films and everything that had came out was when comic books were good, were actually good. And now it's finally reaching the time where it's coming into the newer age of comic books, where the complaints and the downfall of comic books and them not buying as much, like it's reaching that pinnacle of storytelling in the Marvel universe. The Infinity Gauntlet story.
I think it happened in like the 70s or the 80s where that was happening. And we're probably reaching that again. But like right now in Marvel, they're doing another Phoenix story.
Yeah, where everybody's getting the Phoenix.
Yeah, everybody's getting the Phoenix.
Everybody. I mean, Shang-Chi just dropped Hyperion with the Phoenix Force, and he didn't even hit him.
What do you mean he dropped him? Fucking Hyperion got him, and he was just like, ah!
Yeah, he's just fetal position.
Yeah, and Shang-Chi is like, I'm the Phoenix.
Yeah, I was very disappointed.
Yeah,
I mean,
and I saw that. I saw that and I was like, oh, dude, Hyperion is the Phoenix. Dude,
Yeah, he looked really good.
I was like, dude, Chris is gonna lose his mind.
And then 5 seconds later, he lost his mind. I was so hurt by it because like they have never been able to give Hyperion a great story except for the Thor story with him and his brotherhood.
Where time runs out.
It's like, in my opinion, you look at that timeline. Who was it that did that? Was that Jason Aaron? Or was it the other dude?
It was either Brian Michael Bendis or it was
Brian Michael Bendis. Yeah, because he was doing the Avengers at the time, right?
Yeah. So I think it might have been Bendis.
Yeah. I think you're right. Even him knowing all the characters in the Marvel universe, he only chose like 5 of them, which were what? Starbrand, the Moon guy that's always with Starbrand, the 2. You know who I'm talking about, right? It was a black dude, and one of them Starbrand, and the other one's the kid that has like this, like they're the ones that are always prominent in the universe that have to be there. Like they're the characters that always have to be in the universe. And then it was the weird yellow guy with half horn, full horn, and the Omega signal.
Yeah, it's oh dude, he was so cool in this Marvel mobile game. Oh dude, he was so meta. And he has a weird fucking name.
Yeah, it's like Anbu something or something with an A.
No, it's
or
not
you
like
actually.
Well,
that guy's like, he creates like the world tree, dude, right?
He creates plant life, like essentially he creates life, but they're all plants.
He's got a cool name though. I know. It's just off the top of my head. It's like Ubuntu or something like that. It always reminds me of Ubuntu, which was that old shit that used to be for computers.
It's actually pretty prominent still. 08.
Well, it's Starbrand, that's for sure. Forgot the other character that is, but it's something with the moon. It's that character who's the one with the Omega sign that has the horns that looks really evil, but he's a good guy. And then it's Hyperion and Thor. They are literally like the last living survivors of the entire universe fending off the Beyonders. That's because Bendis knows that these were the 5 strongest characters in the entire universe, right? And you're going to tell me that you can write an amazing story for Thor with the Donald Blake shit that just happened recently, but you can't even write a normal fucking story for Hyperion, like the Superman of the universe. Like, you can't do that.
Ex Nihilo,
Ex Nihilo.
Yeah.
But like that was, man, dude, when he got the Phoenix Force, he looked amazing, dude. He looked great. He looked very like Justice Society-esque. He had his cool mask from back in the day. The red and yellow was perfect. But then again, like that whole comic series, like everybody that gets the Phoenix Force looks amazing.
Oh
like Black Panther looks fucking awesome. I finally
found the goddamn like comic like arc, like just the panels that are leading up to our favorite point in all of like.
Oh, it's beautiful, man.
Storytelling.
Yeah, it's a beautiful fucking story. Like, yeah, man, like, you know, those stories are very, very prominent when it comes to the Marvel Universe. Like, and we talk about it all the time where these characters, they all, I mean, like you were going to say right now, like them doing that Phoenix story right now is literally like their creative aspect. Like, they don't even know what to write about.
Yeah.
They don't know what to write about.
I really feel it's like, what's going to make us money? The Phoenix.
Yes. Yeah, because that's the only thing that everybody loves about the X-Men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like with the stories that are going on right now, like the Sam Wilson Captain America story, like it's a great story, but you and I talked about this. You disagree, but I stand pretty strong on this, that I feel like there's going to be a lead up, and it won't lead up into Civil War 2. I think that's one of the shittiest stories that Marvel has ever done.
Yeah.
Ever done.
Marvel.
Even though we do have a dead Iron Man and we have a living Captain Marvel and an old man Steve Rogers, right? But I think through and through romantically, story wise, Shakespearean wise, the greatest the greatest villain that Sam Wilson, Captain America, the Falcon, could ever have would be the return of the young Captain America. Because it would be the who deserves the shield. Does Captain America get that back? That to me would be the next big, because there's literally no big arcs for Sam Wilson's Falcon Captain America.
I don't think, and this is just me, and I'm not trying to be like a negative Nancy.
No, it's fine.
I don't think that they should give Sam his own movie. And
they already said they are.
Yeah, and I don't think that they should, because not that I don't think that Sam Mackey can't carry a movie on his own. We know he can. But you're right. There's nothing that like past that is worthy of his actual attention.
But
and
you said it yourself like, a little while. You can't. You're kind of going against what you just said, where you're saying that Marvel needs to move away from the original stories and be fresh about it.
I do. And like the like, I mean, I know that I'm contradicting myself, but like, it's still kind of one of those things that like, we still need something to pull from.
Yeah. That's 100% what I always try to do when I come up with theories.
Yeah.
I just try my best. And you know, like, dude, just earlier, before we even started the show, I was giving you one of the wildest fucking theories ever.
I hate that you give me those, because it's always like, so a cow turns into a demon. This demon has Hydra ties, Hydra Captain America.
Well, that's so funny. But the reason why I talk about it is because
don't lie, dude. Tell me I'm wrong.
Well, no, you're absolutely correct, dude. Absolutely correct. But the reason why you're correct is because that's the next and only greatest story to be told for Captain next, other than Civil War II.
Yeah.
And the only other big event that ever happened was Steve Rogers died, and then he became old, and then he became young.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's all that's left for Captain America. That's all that's left in the timeline that the MCU has given us with Captain America. They gave us the Bucky story. They gave us the Peggy Carter story. And it wasn't even the other Peggy Carter story where she originally grew old with Bucky and married Bucky, which was one other story. You know what I mean? They gave him a romantic ending, and now they made him old, and where that coincides is with that part. But now it's like you said, like we have now the Falcon, who is Captain America, who's never had an important arc in the comic books. The only thing that he's ever done that was big was Civil War II, and that was horrible. But the only thing that's left is we don't have a Nick Fury anymore. Because I feel like, my opinion, Sam Jackson, I feel like he doesn't want to return back to Nick Fury because he feels like it's a dead horse.
I think he's probably got 3 more films in him before. Yeah, he's absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's like on the edge of absolute done, which I could understand for Robert Downey Jr. and where I could understand for Chris Evans. You know, they're tired of doing the same thing over again. But as actors, they will always try to come back if it's something that's like super different for their character to play. And if I'm not mistaken, there have been some articles out there where they have heard where there's been conversations with Chris Evans to come back to play a Captain America role.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see it happening. And I don't think he'll want to do old man Steve Rogers, even though that would be an amazing story, because that would be Dark Avengers, which would lead up to Pleasantville and all this other stuff. But Pleasantville was referenced very well in WandaVision.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very referenced. So that we can understand that it's around right now, the comic book movie, like the comparisons are about that timeline right now. So, and then you got Captain, which is Captain Falcon now. So the only big stories that they have not reached for these two characters are Original Sin, Civil War when Cap dies, Civil War 2, The Annihilation Wave, and I guess Captain Hydra would be the other one.
You know what? Secret Empire was also another prominent one.
Well, that's Captain Hydra. Secret Empire is Captain Hydra. That's where Hydra becomes the controller of the United States.
Oh yes, that's right.
Yeah, because that's Captain in the green suit, so it's very weird. And that's what I'm talking about. Like that's a really, really big story arc, and it's impressive too.
No,
and of course,
and honestly, like as far as like, oh dude, I can't even say street level because so many very, very big heavy hitters.
Oh dude, fuck, dude, are you kidding me? Oh my god, man. Yeah, it's right when the Bruce Banner's killed, and then Cap brings him back to life using the hand, using the fucking technique from the hand to bring him back.
She also kills Black Widow.
Black Widow fucking dies. Yeah. He lifts Captain America's hammer as a Hydra agent. Then Thor then follows the hammer and joins Captain America, who would be considered evil, but he's not really evil because he's just doing what the hammer says because he really misses it or whatever.
Well, he's following the hammer, and it's basically, and so like, oh man, and Rob said it best. The hammer.
Rob Jefferson.
Yeah, Rob Jefferson, comic 6 lanes, the daddy. He said it best. The hammer doesn't have a distinction between good and evil. The hammer has the distinction between the
compassion
the belief that what you're doing is right.
Yeah.
Like you're doing the right thing. And in Secret Empire, he did make the world better. Was it policed? Yes.
Yeah. He kept it safe and
but there was no crime. There was no poverty. There was no one hungry. Everyone had a job, but everyone fell in line. Everyone.
Yeah, it was literally Red Sun.
Yeah.
It was the storyline of Red Sun from when Superman lands in Russia instead of America.
Yeah. And everyone fell in line.
Yeah. If not, you get fucked.
Yeah. You die. That's it.
Yeah, you die.
But the thing is that like, with Secret Empire, and Secret Empire is amazing. If anyone wants to like just listen to it, go to Rob Jefferson's channel, Comic Books Explained, Secret Empire. He has the entire thing. See,
this is another interesting thing too. Robert puts out a really good question. Like, well, can't we just get a Bucky the White Wolf or something?
Cool.
Yeah, we can, but that's the thing. Like, who the fuck knows about the White Wolf though? Like,
yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the exact same thing. That's the exact same concept as, well, can't we just have Shuri as a Black Panther?
Yeah.
I mean, we could.
Will
we?
I
think 100% could. Yeah, could we though? Whenever that happens, like there is a lead up to something else. So remember that when Shuri becomes a Black Panther, later on she dies to bring T'Challa back to life and bring him back as the king. But then he ends up just being the king of the dead, not the king of T'Challa. And Shuri dies. But the problem with that is, like in the situation in real life, T'Challa, the Chadwick Boseman passed away, and we're trying to find a way to bring that back without hurting the fans or the fan base or bringing disrespect to Chadwick Boseman as a person, right?
Yeah, and that's another thing, dude.
That's a hard part.
It really is.
Yeah, dude.
You gotta look at like the significance of these characters now. Because Black Panther in the comic books was, obviously, an amazing Black representation or like heroism in comic books.
Yeah.
It was amazing. We spoke about this in length when Chadwick died.
When he passed away.
And
now we have Isaiah Bradley, dude. That was amazing.
Yeah, and we're getting all these very, very prominent Black actors. But the thing is that we also kind of spoke about that as well. But the thing is that like whoever's gonna go forward, or however they go forward, it has to be done in respect to Chadwick.
Yeah,
because it's not just Chadwick as a person or Chadwick as an actor and stuff like that, but it's what he did for that character in the MCU. What he gave to the MCU, and just opened up the floodgates for a lot of Black representation in the Marvel movies. And you know what? Yeah. He was beautiful in that role. In everyone that he played, he was beautiful. He was amazing. He was a perfect representation of T'Challa. And he went way too soon. way too soon.
Yeah, of course.
obviously.
Just as a human being.
Yeah,
Just as a human being.
and like, I mean, his story isn't finished.
Yep.
And that's kind of the problem that they're like that we're on.
Yeah, this is going to be the Cinderella story that Marvel does, because literally, if you think about it, like the passing of Chadwick Boseman came right at the return of T'Challa from being gone for 5 years. He just returned as the king.
And absolutely no disrespect intended, but man, that was just unfortunate timing.
Yeah.
This
timeline that we are on, that sucks, man.
Yeah, because
it really sucks.
Fuck, dude, like, what do we do like with his character?
Yeah. And Marvel will do something right. I know they will.
Yeah.
They will. And
I know that the Russo brothers, I know that Kevin Feige, I know that the director, his estate, and like all of that, they're gonna do right by Chadwick.
I could probably guarantee, like I could stake my life on it, that before Chadwick passed away, he probably told him exactly what they wanted to do. They probably all sat down and they were like, "Hey man, I think this is the best thing." You know what I mean? I really feel like that's probably what happened. And out of due respect, I think Chadwick would have probably been a part of that conversation. So
I really hope that he did. I mean, me as a person, that's exactly what I would do. If I knew that my time was
being cut short,
I would be like, "Hey guys, I want to let you know, I may not have a whole lot of time left, but if you're gonna do anything, please do it this way." Yeah,
I can see the same thing. But the idea, what, there's a lot of people that are reaching right now for the White Wolf story in some way, which I'm not gonna lie, it's not really an impressive storyline when it comes to Bucky's story. It is a cool little like, hey, look, this is the time, Bucky was here. But probably one of the greatest storylines for Bucky and the Winter Soldier himself was the Winter Soldier storyline, which was with him and Black Widow. Like, I think it was like a 7 or 8 comic book series. And if not, I think a really, really great story that they could do with Sebastian Stan before he decides to retire the character is The Man on the Wall. The Man on the Wall would be fucking amazing.
I really, I mean, I have to agree with you. The only thing that I don't like is I just don't want to see him go. Like, you know what I mean?
But you know what? Like, this would put his character in a position that he's there, but he's just not always there.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he can come back and stuff like that. Yeah, and it puts him in a cosmic reference now. So they would just end up putting him in space. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so
you know what? I mean, if they were gonna do that, then I'd rather they just do the original Sin story.
Well, yeah, of course. Because the idea would be that
we need a new Man on the Wall.
Yeah, because we don't have a Nick Fury anymore.
Yeah.
And Nick Fury's the Man on the Wall. Like, yeah, you know what I mean? And the thing is they may not want to replace someone to be Nick Fury, or they'll get Old Man Cap, or if they do follow closer to the comic books.
Let's just get David Hasselhoff back. He was the original.
Dude, I would love to. Don't even fucking start, dude. Don't even. No, you know who it, dude. They should bring in Dolph Lundgren to be the old
Lundgren
Nick Fury, dude. Fucking Dolph Lundgren to be the old Nick Fury, and then him make reference to the Punisher, dude.
With the patch and everything.
And then him make reference to his like old Punisher suit and be like, "Oh, that's trash" or whatever.
Yeah.
That would be fucking funny. But no. So you would have like old man Steve Rogers be the Nick Fury, the new variation who's like in charge. If not, they follow the comic and they make Sharon Carter, but Sharon Carter is being a little bad girl. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't seem like she's going to be in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. anytime soon.
What I want to know, and this is the, like, we haven't really seen this. Where's Maria Hill?
Well, okay, so Maria Hill would follow Nick Fury. Yeah, she was also in charge of S.H.I.E.L.D. for a little bit. But the one thing that's been catching my ear, and this goes back to the way that I used to talk about it way in the past when I told people that they were going to do Jane Foster's Thor story, because they kept referencing her, right? Like throughout all the different movies, they'd be like, well, where's Jane Foster? Oh, she's on an island somewhere writing. She just got a fucking dissertation and a Nobel Peace Prize or whatever. Remember? They were always referencing her. Oh, I heard Jane Foster dumped you. Wah, wah, wah. Like they just always little put things because they didn't want the audience to forget that character, right? But why is it so many times now that you're hearing, well, I thought Captain America was on the moon. I thought Cap was on the moon. I thought Cap was, where the fuck did that come from? And the only thing that gives reference to on the moon is what?
Yeah,
Original Sin. Original Sin.
Where was that being said? I don't remember that at all.
So far in the series, it's been said 3 times. Someone says it when they're on TV. The sister says it. I thought he was on the moon. Then a guy in the last episode, when they were walking by, he's like, who are you supposed to be? And he's like, Captain America. And he's like, I thought he was on the moon. They reference Captain America being on the moon. Why do they keep doing that?
Dude, what if he's on the moon getting his age back, though?
Dude, there's so many. Okay, so there's so many different things that they could do, right? So they could do an iteration of, okay, this is what I always thought. And this was, it was far-fetched. I know we're getting a little bit past the time, and I don't want to take this any past, no 2:20, no 2:30. We could stop at 2 hours, maybe 2 hours 15, but there is a part in the comics where, Original Sin, and there's a part of me that thought when he came back and he took all the jewels back, that's why he told Sam, no, I don't think I'm going to tell you. Like there was a part of him that was very reserved about his history because he knew now about all of their pasts. Because he had to follow every one of them to take the stones back. So like he knows all of their sins. Do you get me?
Mm.
And that could be the old man Steve Rogers being the Nick Fury, the man on the moon.
Possibly. I mean,
you know what I mean?
You know, it wouldn't be super duper far fetched.
I mean, and then again, like everybody thinks he's dead, and I don't know why they keep referencing him as a dead dude. I understand that society does, but like us, the audience, knows that he's just old and he lived with Peggy Carter. He's probably in a retirement home or he's just chilling out in the house that they have. But why hasn't he text or called these guys to be like, dude, what the fuck are y'all doing, man? Sam, like, get the fucking shield back and quit your shit. You know what I mean? Like,
I always kind of thought that too. I would have been like, get Bucky on the fucking phone. Get Sam on the fucking phone. What the fuck are you doing? What are you doing?
Dude, what the fuck is going on? Okay, look. Okay, so Sal, welcome to the chat. I don't know how long you've been on, Sal, but here's Sal. Sal brings a good point. But then doesn't that mean in order for old Cap to be the man on the moon, he would have to take the place of the Watcher, which means he would have killed the Watcher, and it doesn't think Cap will do that. Yes and no, because the Watcher has never been explained to be here. We always just assume he's here.
There we go. Confirmation, Captain Hydra.
Yeah, there you go. Captain Hydra. Well, no, just the Watcher part. The Watcher part, we know that Ubuntu is there, or we knew that Uatu is there. But for a long time, everybody theorized that it was Stan Lee that was a Watcher.
I think it was like low key confirmed.
Yeah, it was implied. It was implied that he was the dude. And you know what? Someone put like a really, really good thing, and someone was like, you know what would have been nice is before
Stan Lee passed.
Before Stan Lee passed, that and like in the Avengers scene at Endgame, when they go back and they do the shawarma scene.
Oh yeah, the shawarma.
If
scene.
he was cleaning. And Thor's hammer would have been on the table, and he would have like picked it up and dusted under it, and then put it back down, and then kept going on.
That would have been so funny.
That would have been great if it just showed that he was always worthy and he was great. But then again, we already saw that he couldn't lift it with his truck.
Yeah,
yeah. So his truck wasn't worthy, even though elevators are worthy, because we did explain that. But you know,
if he's in space, Captain Hydra confirmed.
Captain Hydra confirmed. Well, we know that Nick Fury is in space. The other thing is that I saw that I thought was kind of interesting, but I don't know how to handle it, was what if the Sharon Carter that we're watching is actually a Skrull and this is a secret invasion?
I mean, secret invasion is coming. Who the fuck knows, dude? It is coming.
What about that theory, huh? That was a fast one, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But you see, like, that's also a really good given. That could be a thing. It's still very open-ended. It's still very background is. Valentina's character...
I think what we need to do, and I know that this isn't the easiest thing, is we just need to be patient and we need to see where these
Oh,
Netflix series.
Oh, that's all we can do.
Yeah,
All we can do is be patient.
Yeah, is just see where these Netflix series are gonna go, or the Disney Plus series are gonna go.
But you know what? Shout out to the actress, the great actress Emily Clark. She did get a role in Secret Invasion coming up. A lot of people were thinking that it was going to be Spider-Woman, but I disagree. I literally think she's going to be the Queen of the Skrulls. I think she would play that role prominently.
Oh, dude, yeah, but I don't want to see her in latex, dude. I want to see Amelia Clark's gorgeous face as she is gorgeous.
Well, that's the same thing I said, minus the gorgeous part about Christian Bale, but
yeah,
boy, I can only get so erect knowing that he's going to play Gore the God Butcher, dude. So I really think that she's probably going to be the queen, and the thing is, she knows how to play those kind of characters off very well.
Oh yeah,
royalty things, you know, she's very established.
She can do regal very well.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, I mean, Secret Invasion, I think, is probably going to be, and maybe Armor Wars is probably going to be the two bigger like turning points story wise.
I think we talked about that too. I think that's going to be a great introduction for Crimson Dynamo.
Mm-hmm.
If they really, if they don't use Crimson Dynamo in Armor Wars, that's going to be a huge letdown.
Yeah.
What else did I want to ask you? We're about to end the show. I said, I don't want to go beyond 2:15, but Trigger, real quick. I already know this without even fucking hearing it, without even asking you. Yo, bro, how do you feel about Shang-Chi's trailer, dude? Whoa, so excited. Fuck that Shang-Chi trailer, dude. Yeah, dude.
I think Shang-Chi's gonna be fun. I think that's really what it's going to be. I think it's going to be a kids movie.
For what it's worth, I think it's going to be a hell of a movie. And we talked about this once where I said, I cannot wait to see Disney or Marvel pull off like $1 million Jackie Chan movie.
Yeah.
Like I just showed you the live action UA fight scene online.
We're not getting into that.
And
we're not going to get into that.
The live action UA show that I showed you, the trailer, how amazing that was. Putting $1 million behind something like that would be totally awesome. If guys on YouTube are doing it, then fuck, dude. Like Marvel's gonna pull this off amazingly with this show.
Yeah. No, I think, granted, dude, I think Shang-Chi was just the most out of left field character that they could have brought into the MCU. Okay, you did it. Am I gonna go? Does this prompt me to go read Shang-Chi comics? No.
Oh hell no! Fuck no! I'm not gonna read that. I don't need to read that shit. That racist ass beginning comic book. That's what happens when you get a bunch of white guys writing Chinese fucking characters, man.
I mean, dude, his dad's name was Fu Manchu.
Yeah, it was pretty racist back in the day. And they were trying to be classy, but they didn't know how to be classy.
Yeah. Man, if they're gonna do this, I really hope that they start pulling from Iron Man stories. With Mandarin being his dad and stuff like that. They better. And the 10 rings, they better.
Yo, straight up, we got a really cool question. I love questions like this. My boy Sal just asked a really cool question. Off topic. Can Gore the God Butcher kill Null? 0% no, because he uses the Black Blade, which was created by Null, which means he's already a part of Null.
Yeah, so
he's already symbiotically taken over.
It would have just been like, he hits him and then it phases into him, and
he wouldn't be able to do anything to him. Yeah, he wouldn't be able to do anything.
Thanks for my sword back, you.
Yeah. I mean, if you take Gore the God Butcher, I mean, with planning, maybe he can do some damage because he was. I mean, dude, craziest thing I've seen all week was Russell Crowe coming out and saying that he was on the set of Thor Love and Thunder as Zeus, that he was Zeusing around. That would, to me, to any comic book reader, that would be the weirdest thing to hear in the Marvel world, because Zeus is like forever and never referenced. Only Hercules is referenced more than anything from the Greek pantheon.
The only time that you ever see Zeus or really see Zeus is when he fights, or is actually like in two major stories. Is when
he fights Hulk.
Yeah, when he fights Hulk and
fucking bodies his ass.
The Hulk.
Yeah. He's like, what am I doing with you, bro?
Yeah, he was like, are you fucking?
And he's like, dude, can you just bring back Betty or whatever?
No,
what is he saying?
Eat shit. Go away. Go ask.
Yeah, he's just asking him for like, can you just save my family or whatever the fuck? And he's like,
go ask
whatever, minion.
Yeah,
but that's it. Like that's literally it. I can't remember any other part of Zeus.
when they start talking about the Sky Fathers.
Yeah. Okay. So that's the thing is, I think the reason why Russell Crowe is there is because they're going to introduce the Sky Fathers, because Gore the God Butcher is going to be going through the pantheons of different religions.
Yeah.
That's the only thing, because
that's why I'm like, you would have to introduce the Sky Fathers. So
the Sky Fathers, and the only reason why I say that is because in the story of Gore the God Butcher, him going around and killing all the gods is super fucking confusing.
Yeah,
it's super fucking confusing because they just start pulling gods out of nowhere
3 times.
And then he kills like this guy here and kills this guy in one timeline, and they're all over the place. So they're gonna have to kind of make it a little bit more of a stricter story.
Time travel and Gore the God Butcher
story. Oh, it's gonna be confusing as fuck.
Confirms why I hate time travel.
Yeah, that was a very weird story. Yeah. Even when they bring out all 3 Thors and shit like that, it gets really confusing. But good story nonetheless. But great question. Thank you, Sal, for asking. I love that kind of stuff. Real quick before we go, Robert. I have to thank Robert. He invited us to a private chat room and got us the Jake Paul fights for us to watch. Yo, super appreciated. And he says, dude, I cannot fucking believe the Jake Paul fight. Neither can I. It was the craziest shit I ever saw. I kind of feel like my opinion on this, Jake Paul, he was kind of throwing a little nervously, like he was throwing wild for a little bit, and then he got straight, which caught him with that 2, which he caught Ben Askren with the 2. But when Ben Askren falls fucking hard, but he gets up, he squazzles a little bit, bounces off the rope and stands, and then the ref kind of stops Jake Paul from coming in, and then turns around and asks him, "Are you okay?" And he's like, "Yeah, I'm good." And he tells him to walk forward, and Ben Askren walks forward normally, and if you look at him, he walks with his ass out, because he just got done having hip surgery not too long ago. So he has a weird walk. Even when he's walking to the ring and he gets in the ring, you can see that walk prominent. But when he walks towards the ref is like, "Oh, no, this guy's walking like a duck. He's all fucked up." Yeah, that fight was, it wasn't good, man. Ben Askren, and we called it before, like, this isn't good for his career, but he made $500,000 easy.
Yeah.
In what, like 2 minutes? Not even a minute 20. He just fucking walked in, got punched, got $500,000, walked out. Now he's in vacation in Cabo or whatever the fuck.
I watched that shit illegally and
I still want my money back. But thank you, Robert, for inviting us to your online and having us watch the fights with you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much, dude. We really appreciate that, dude. You've been a fucking heavy supporter.
You're one of our extraordinaries, boy.
Well, man,
thank you so much.
Robert, give me your address, brother. I want to send you some fucking Average Boys merch, dude.
Oh,
get
you something good, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but yeah, guys, if you guys watched the Jake Paul, what did you guys think of that fight? That was such an amazing thing. Now it's fucking Tyrone Woodley's calling out the entire team.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, man. And then not only that, I think Logan or Jake Paul called out Nate Diaz for a third round. There's no way, bro. Those guys, I mean, look, watch Jake Paul and Logan Paul, athletes. They're good guys. They're athletically built, but they don't understand the streets, man.
Nah,
Nate Diaz is the kind of guy to catch up you in the fucking parking lot of Whole Foods. And like, yeah. Hey, bro, what's up? I heard you wanted to call me out on Instagram. Smack, dude. He just smacks me at Whole Foods.
He was like, "Oh, you fought a bitch ass wrestler, dude. I'm actually a boxer. Let's fucking do this."
But that's the thing is, like, Nate Diaz will meet that guy like at Luby's, bro. Like, dude, like the Paul brothers don't even know.
Yeah, he's like, bro,
if you were to watch the fight, right? When you see the fight,
Doug, what's good?
Like when you saw the fight, there was that part where Tyrone Woodley was in the back talking to Jake Paul and his manager was holding a pair of boxing gloves, and he's like, "You don't know anything about this fucking pillow gloves, bro. That's nothing in the MMA community. That's not fighting when you. It's like checkers, bro. Like,
what do you think?
MMA through and through is probably one of the hardest sports when it comes to fighting. Everything else comes with limitations on what you can and can't do. Where MMA is 100%, like almost as raw as you can get it. That's why you got a lot of people that do a lot of those other sports and not MMA. So like the Jake Paul like literally told Ben Askren that he would wrestle him like the next weeks or whatever. Like he challenged him, but that dude already pulled out and said, "I don't need to fight you. You're a loser, bro. I don't need to fight. I don't need to wrestle you. You're a loser." And those are what a lot of people say when they ask them to jump into their sport, and they will not respect them and jump into theirs. So, like, dude, that other guy that was there talking to Tyrone Woodley was just talking about boxing, and it's like, bro, you're talking to Tyrone fucking Woodley, dude. Like, dude, dude's an animal in MMA, dude. Yeah, if they got into it right there in the fucking locker room, Tyrone would have fucking killed that guy. And Tyrone said it, I think, like the day later. He's like, find me an MMA, bro, because I don't want to punch you. I want to hit you with my elbow. Like, I want to cut you. I want to fuck you up. And I'm like, geez, dude, like those guys are doing great for the entertainment of boxing. Yes. For what they're creating, fucking genius, dude. Genius. And shout out to Mighty Mike Quinn from back in the day broadcasting here in the Valley. But he was there at Thriller hanging out.
Even though Jake Paul is, yes, an amazing athlete, dude, and like he's going to claim up and down that he's a fighter, you're an entertainer, dude. You're an
smart guys, man. Yeah. Both of them are just truly genius when it comes to settling this stuff. But sooner or later, he's gonna have to fight someone with some pizzazz, and he's not gonna be able to call out I mean, the next thing he's gonna call out like Ricky Martin, or he's gonna call out some random dude that's never done boxing.
Is from what I'm hearing, he's really trying to set up the Conor McGregor fight.
I don't think. I mean, but Conor's been out of the game for a while. For him to make money, I think he would do it. But that's the same thing as Logan calling out Mayweather. That's like fucking 75 pounds off weight compared to Mayweather.
Yeah, I was about to be like, dude, that's like 50 plus. I mean,
I don't even know why Ben Askren even got on the scale at 190 something, dude.
Yeah, and
I was so fucking like, you can ask, man, who was? I think me and Robert were like in the same fucking when I was in the chat with him. And I was like, dude, like fucking Ben Askren is 191, dude. Like, this dude's love handles look tougher than him. I was so like, Jesus Christ, this guy's super out of shape. And Jake Paul looked great at 191. Yeah. Looked fantastic at 190. Big dude, man, big dude. But Ben Askren was not a 191er, dude.
No,
not even close. And then not only that, being like 5 months out of hip surgery, bro. Like, come on, man. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken,
let me fight my little brother for $500,000. Fuck you up, dude. You're a little bitch. You're adopted.
Dude, I'll totally. We were all talking about it at the gym the other day, and I was like, all my guys were like, dude, I'll fucking take a fall for $500,000, dude. Yeah, give me the money. Fuck, dude. I'll let both of you guys kick my ass, and I'll just go in there. You pay me $500 just to get my ass kicked. I mean, it was a show, man. I don't really like the idea of them doing like the concert and that at the same time. Kind of feel like it doesn't work too well. I kind of feel like it doesn't work too well.
It's literally all for entertainment.
Yeah. I mean, dude, I understand like, what they're trying to do.
Yeah, this isn't.
But I just feel like it didn't work.
The WBC or anything like that, dude. This is Triller. Who the fuck has heard of Triller till 3 weeks ago? Nobody.
I think personally, if they're gonna do this, they don't need to do concerts with it. I think the concert needs to be the entertainment for the audience at the fight.
Yeah.
And then the boxing is what they do on the pay-per-view. And then they can do casual cuts to show the concert that's going on in the background. And maybe even do like some of the highlights with the music. But I don't think they should show like Justin Bieber come out and do a whole Hey Baby or Oh Baby, Baby, Baby song. Yeah. And then go back to see like, someone come in and box and stuff. I feel like there's just too much of a break in between. That's just me on a personal level. But guys, what did you guys think of the Jake Paul fight? Guys, out of all the stuff we talked about today, talking Mortal Kombat, the movie, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Invincible, fucking, what was the other thing we talked about? God, I can't even remember. There's so many things. So many fucking things we talked about. We talked about, Demon Slayer, anime in theaters. And, of course, the Jake Paul and Logan fight. What did you guys think about it? This week has been super crazy. We even got a Shang-Chi trailer for no reason. Nobody even asked for it. And Marvel is like, yo, bet. I hear you. I hear you.
Awkwafina is the unsung hero of that entire trailer.
Yeah. I remember you telling me that the other day. You were like, Awkwafina is my favorite.
Yeah, dude.
So, and she's funny in the trailers, man. She's a funny actress. I hope it goes well. Guys, what did you think of all the great things that we talked about today? Mortal Kombat was great. What did you guys think of Mortal Kombat? What was your favorite part? What was your favorite part about Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Mine was, of course, the speech that he gives to the politicians. And then the ending with Isaiah Bradley, like, topped it off for me. I was literally man tears were flowing from my face. But the only gripe that I had, which isn't really a big gripe, is that I wish the statue would have been him in the Captain America costume he wore.
Yeah.
That was it. Yeah, that was it. I really just wanted him to be like,
thank you,
with the sleeveless, the baggy jeans and the military boots and
with the fucking
dude, fuck with the helmet and just like with his big fucking arms, dude, like his big fucking arms. Like that's the only thing that was missing. But great start and send off to an amazing character. This makes me so excited to see an introduction to Blue Marvel that I know and I trust that they're gonna do it good. Like this was literally like a whole introduction to Blue Marvel. So I'm super impressed, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in with us. We appreciate you guys. Again, thank you to Robert Flores. Thank you so much for letting us watch the Jake Paul fight with you. We appreciate you, bro. Anybody else that's out there, Sal, Kyle, all you guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us and always jumping in the conversation. Guys, we will see you guys again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Friday nights, 9 p.m. here with the Average Boys Podcast. Thank you to all our extraordinary listeners. We love you. Tell someone you love them. Wear your mask. Be safe. We'll see you guys again next Friday. Laters.
Wow.